Hello students, I am Ms. Shah from Kankoli College, Kankoli. In the previous lecture, we have seen the two abiotic factors. In this lecture, we'll see about the next two abiotic factors. First abiotic factor we are going to see is the light. Now, plants use light for photosynthesis, which is only source of energy for the entire ecosystem. As we all know that photosynthesis can occur only in presence of sunlight. Photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means production. Now this photosynthesis, in photosynthesis there is a formation of chemical energy. By using light energy is converted into chemical energy, that is glucose or sugar is synthesized, but it occurs in presence of light. So light is the only source of energy for entire ecosystem. Why it is called as entire ecosystem? Because whatever the plants use light from sunlight for photosynthesis, by photosynthesis food is produced, and we know that plants are producers as they produce the food, and producers, they produce the food in the form of that is fruits, vegetables, as we all know. Now herbivorous are the animals which feed on plants, that is on the producers, and carnivorous are the animals which feed on herbivorous. So if photosynthesis does not takes place, if plants does not get light, the whole ecosystem will get disturbed or it get destroyed, because carnivorous are dependent on herbivores are dependent on plants, and plants are dependent on sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. So light is most of the important abiotic factor in ecosystem. Many species of small plants growing on forest floor are adapted to perform photosynthesis optimally under very low light conditions, because they are constantly overshadowed by tall trees. Now, many species of small plants means, as we know that there are three different types of plants. For example, small plants they are called as the herbs. Larger than the herbs they are called as the shrubs, and larger than the shrubs they are called as the large trees. If, for example, there is a footpath, and if there are the shrubs present, shrubs are grown. Below the shrub plants there are some small plants or herbs, we can say, they are grown. They grow in the that is beneath the shrubs. Shrubs get the sunlight directly from the sun, but the small plants that are called as the herbs, they do not get direct sunlight, but they are adapted to perform photosynthesis under very low light conditions, and they are continuously overshadowed by tall trees, but because they are adapted to that conditions, to that situation. For animals too, diurnal and seasonal variations in sunlight, in light intensity and duration, that is photoperiod, are clues for timing their foraging, reproductive and migratory activities. Now, as we have seen, plants need light for photosynthesis. Without light, photosynthesis cannot take place in plants. In the same way, animals, they also need light, because diurnal and nocturnal, these are the two terms. Diurnal means the organisms which are active in the daytime, and nocturnal means the organisms which are active at night time. Diurnal example is human beings. They are active at the daytime, and at night time we sleep. That means we are inactive at the night time. In the same way, nocturnal organisms, for example cockroach, if you see cockroach, it is active at night time, so it is called as a nocturnal. So they are adapted in that situation, that is at night time they are active. That means they are adapted to light dark period, and they are active in the dark period. And seasonal variations in light intensity and duration are clues for timing their foraging, reproductive and migratory activities. Now for example, in plants also, that is photoperiod. Photoperiod is a term that is the duration of the light for flowering period. Now in plants, for flowering period also, photoperiod, it is of three types. There are three types of plants, that is short day plants, long day plants and day neutral plants. Now these three different types of plants, they produce flowers having the critical period of light. For example, short day plants, they produce the plants when they get the short period of time, short duration of light. And long day plants, they produce the flowers when they get the long period or long duration of light. Day neutral plants are the plants which are not affected by short duration of light or long duration of light. They are not affected. They grow in any conditions. So in this way, photoperiod, that is, it is important, that is in the plants for flowering period. In the migration also, migratory activities, birds they migrate, fishes migrate from one place to another, that is from rivers to sea water, or sea water to that is river water. That also depends on the light period. The availability of light on land is closely linked with that of temperature, since the sun is the source for both. As we know that availability of light on land is closely linked with that of temperature, because sunlight gives light also, and it also increases the temperature of the environment. So since sun is the only source for both, that is light also and also for increasing the temperature. Then second abiotic factor we'll see, that is the soil. Now soil, that is the nature and properties of soil are dependent on the climate, the weathering process. Nature and properties of soil means, that is the smoothness of the soil, or the, that is the water holding capacity or air holding capacity of the soil. They are totally dependent on the climate and the weathering process. The weathering process, that is the climatic conditions, depends on the climatic conditions, fluctuations of the climatic conditions. Various characteristics of the soil, such as soil composition, grain size, determine the percolation and water holding capacity of the soil. Now soil, there are different types of soil. For example, slit soil, gravel, then coarse sand, then fine clay. So all these different types of soil, they have different, that is the composition, and also the that is the every grain size of soil is different, and also that is the percolation and water holding capacity of the soil, that is of different types, it is different. Along with along with these characteristics, that is composition, grain size, that is percolation and water holding capacity of the soil, along with this, pH, mineral composition and topography also determine the vegetation of an area. That means pH, for example, if we grow the, that is a crop, paddy crop or rice crop, it requires a that is a pH, that is a soil pH, that is up to 5.5 to 6.5. That is quite that is a acidic pH. So different soil have different pH, and they are adapted, or the plants are adapting the different soil with different pH. Also mineral composition, there are different minerals present in the soil, and this mineral composition, it occurs only by the, that is the pedogenesis. Pedogenesis, that means the weathering of rock. Weathering of rock means the rocks, they are melted and they form into the soil, that is the pedogenesis. I hope you have understood the two abiotic factors, that is the light and soil. Thank you.